Hey guys, Aaron CybertronVGC here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online Series 7 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. In yesterday's episode, we showed off a really fun Moltres Mammal Swine team, so we'll be playing a couple more games with it today. I actually just saw the rental code for the team that we're going up against on Twitter like 5 minutes ago, so I think this is a team that was able to get pretty high up in the ladder. Maybe we'll try it out on the channel sometime soon. Features Life Orb Regieleki, if I remember correctly, as well as like Wide Lens support Spectre with Will-O-Wisp. So a lot of interesting components. So there's a Porygon 2. Obviously the Trick Room component from my opponent's end is pretty scary. Now Whimsicott doesn't have Taunt, but my opponent doesn't know that. They also don't really have electric resist or immunes other than the Landorus. Landorus obviously is kind of a big problem, but we do have the Mamoswine for it. Regieleki is really interesting here. Other question is what I want to Dynamax. I feel like Dynamax Duraludon's pretty solid. But what I'm worried about is if I can't KO Porygon 2 with like a Fake Tears Max Morrowind. With modest Life Orb, I would think that's enough for a knockout. Don't think this is a match for Moltres. I honestly want to bring Regieleki out into this as well. Maybe we can actually lead Regieleki. I'm going to try that out. I haven't gone with that yet, because I don't feel the immediate need for Tailwind. So Regieleki, Duraludon, Urshifu. And I might actually just bring Mamoswine and go for full offense in this game. Like, normally you're going to go with Whimsicott with this team, but I'm going to try something different here. Just to see if it works or not. So, yeah. Thanks as always for watching Road to Ranked. Thank you to Prinz for the team. Once again, this is a rental. There is a paste for this in the description below as well, so feel free to try it out yourself. And thanks as always for watching Road to Ranked. If you enjoyed, please show your support by leaving a like in the video. I'd really appreciate it. Spectre Porygon 2. Okay, well, the thing is, I've got Specs Electro Web, not Electro Web, Electro Ball. I honestly think here, like, you probably Snarl with Duraludon on Trick Room. Sorry, Snarl with the Spectre. I think Electro Ball into, like, a Draco Meteor should just KO Porygon. So I kind of want to go for that. Yeah. Ooh, it's Dynamax Spectre. Okay, I didn't really anticipate that. Maybe I should have. Just given the team, things look so slow, but Dynamax... Oh! Okay. Now that was pretty much the last thing I would have expected here. And they Max Guard. Wow. That was actually one of the best plays I've ever seen. Like, not even lying. Wow. That was a phenomenal play. Okay, what do we do here? I'm gonna get Snarled again. I think I'm gonna go out into Mamoswine here and go for a Dark Pulse onto the Spectre. Steel Beam is actually kind of interesting just so I get a free switch in. I'm actually kind of contemplating that. Wow, that was such a crazy play. So well done. Dynamax just a Max Guard. And you have the download boost, so it's not like maxing here is, you know, that crazy. I'm gonna Dark Pulse into Spectre and switch out Regieleki. That was I would have never seen that coming. Like, that was just such a big brain play. Okay. So, like, if I just, like, Electro Ball, Dark Pulsed the Spectre turn one, we would have been in really good shape, but it's, like, so hard to make that play when I'm up against the Porygon 2, right? So I'm going to get a -2 Dark Pulse off, but should still do a sizable amount of damage here. Not as much as I would have liked, to be honest. Especially considering our Life Orb, but obviously we're at -2. Yeah, they're going to go Hailstorm here. See if they target Duraludon or into the Mammal switch in. Okay, it is going to go into Mamo. Does not KO us, so that's good. The thing is, my opponent's Dynamax ends after this next turn, right? But the question is, who do I even Dynamax at this point in the game? I still want to Dynamax Duraludon if I can, because I feel like it does pretty well into my opponent's team, but what do I do in this position? My opponent's free to just Snarl and Hailstorm into Duraludon. So I think I want to protect here. Do I just sack Duraludon? Duraludon's so good against my opponent's team, though, but I guess they have pretty fast stuff with Landorus and Zapdos, too. I shouldn't have zoned in so hard on Trick Room. Their team's actually pretty fast. I think it's Protect here. I just don't want to sack either of these in the back. Maybe I do give up. Like, I can Ice Shard here. Into Dark Pulse. Yeah, I'm actually going to give up both Pokemon because I don't think I want Mamoswine out on the field. I want Regieleki plus Urshifu out on the field. I just don't know what to Dynamax. Like, okay, they're going to go for Snarl. Let's see if Duraludon survives this. Okay, nice. So maybe we KO Spectre on the way out, which would be pretty nice. I guess if I were picking up the knockout, though, it would have been better to just have protected. Because then I can just Ice Shard, bring in Urshifu, pick up a double KO. It's just like, I don't really want to Dynamax with either of the remaining Pokemon in the game, right? But I have to. Just because of the crazy good Dynamax from Porygon 2. Okay, so at least it's 2-3 in my opponent's favor, but their Dynamax is over. Porygon is, no pun intended, literally a sitting duck in front of this Urshifu. And I've got Regieleki with Specs Electro Web for control. So the question is, do you have Landorus in the back? Because if not, Electro Web actually does so much damage across the board. And I could Dynamax Regieleki too. Like, while that seems kind of crazy, if I, Dynamax Regieleki will do a fair amount of damage. They're just going to bring in Regirock, okay? If I remember correctly, from when I saw this team, I don't think the Regirock actually has Protect. So given that, might just be close combat into Regirock, Electro Web into Porygon 2. I don't think I Dynamax here, because I actually do less damage by Dynamaxing. So yeah, I'm just going to go Abandon Close Combat into Regirock. Okay, actually, I guess the only problem is I don't know if... It should be the other way around, right? Close Combat into Porygon, and Electro Ball... Sorry, not Electro Web, Electro Ball into Regirock. I just don't know if Specs Electro Ball one-shots. They switch out as well. There's Landorus. Okay. Well, given the Landorus, I need to survive this turn, basically. If I survive the turn, we can Dynamax. I don't know if I survive the turn. Okay. So we get Choice Specs Electro Ball off against Regirock. Whew! That's a one-hit KO. Okay. Nice, nice. That's huge. We get the Close Combat off here, too. I have to Dynamax the Urshifu, right? But I think it's fine. Because, like, I still have a Dynamax to play with, and let's see if I'm faster with the Urshifu. I am faster. That's a really big deal, too. What's the alternative? Dynamax Regieleki, Max Strike? My opponent's just going to click Earthquake here always with Landorus, right? I don't think Porygon 2 has Protect, otherwise you would have protected on turn 1. I think that should be the priority to KO. I feel like it's pretty safe to just Dynamax this thing, Max Knuckle into Electro Ball. Like, I'm pretty sure that should KO the Porygon, and then we just G-Max the Landorus. Yeah, I like that. I wasn't sure if Specs Electro Ball was going to KO the Regirock before it actually did. Man, that was such a big brain play by my opponent in turn 1, though. But in the end, like, it was solely done as a defensive play. I mean, actually, Dynamax Porygon 2 did some damage into my team, but ultimately, like, I only gave up 1 KO from it, basically, which was big. But that is, like, the definition of flexible Dynamaxes. Like, that's not something I even considered as a play, and I really should have, because it was really smart. But you can see how good Specs Electro Ball is from Regieleki right now. Like, we one-shot Regirock. Might just one-shot Porygon 2. If not, it will do a ton of damage. Like, I would think 70-80%. Enough that a Max Knuckle should finish it off, but let's see. Yeah. Okay, nice. We're intimidated, but this should KO, right? Okay, good. Nice. So I think we should end up winning this one, but wow. What a game. The main thing is, like, you can see how good late game Urshifu is. If you wait until your opponent's Dynamax is over, Urshifu can just one-shot so many things. Ooh, they go for Fly. Wait. I can't Max Guard. Does Fly one-shot me? If it does, I lose. Because I can't Max Guard here. Oh, man. I didn't think about that. Because I don't think it one-shots us, but... I mean, we're Dynamaxed. Well, let's find out. Can't self-target myself. So there's really nothing. There's no point. I mean, Regieleki is irrelevant right now, right? We're Spexed. Yeah, so... It basically comes down to whether or not I survive. If I do, I win. If not, I lose. Okay. Electro Ball goes into the void. Max Darkness goes into the void. Just worried about, like, Banded Fly. Oh, that was so close. That was so close. But I think we should be good now. Unless I don't one-shot Landorus right now with Max Darkness. There's no way Landorus survives this, right? There's no way. You could protect, I guess. Okay, let's see. Max Darkness. Okay. Wow. That was a game. That was a game. I thought it was doomed after Porygon Dynamax, but see, that's why I didn't Dynamax Duraludon in the early game, because if I max Duraludon there, and I eat the Snarls up, I just do so little damage. And, like, given what my opponent had in the back, yeah. In the end, like, I'd rather at least have the option of Dynamaxing Regieleki plus Urshifu. My only question is whether it would have been worth it to actually Dynamax the Regieleki and go for Max Strike, Close Combat into the Porygon. I don't think that's correct, though, because Landorus is just going to Earthquake there. If I'm at -2 defense, you just KO me. That's really bad. And then, I don't know if a Max Strike KOs the Landorus from the range limit side, especially because we didn't see the item, and it might be Assault Vest. I think that's very likely, given that it wasn't Choice Scarf. So, yeah. Wow. Well, that's an example of how being flexible and you're choosing who to Dynamax can really catch opponents off guard, but we end up with the win, so I'll take it. Alright, next team here. They have Whimsicott Regieleki as well. So, Battle of the Moltres? Obviously, they have Whimsicott Terrakion, so I have to respect that. I don't mind Whimsicott Regieleki here. I feel like that's decent. I mean, Duraludon looks really good here, actually. Like, I have a super effective attack into 5 or 4 of my opponent's Pokemon, but then, like, Regieleki and Rillaboom, Max Wormwind, or Steel Spike just do a lot to both, respectively. The question is whether or not I want Mamoswine, but I feel like the answer is no because of Rillaboom? I don't know. Rillaboom is not fun to play against when you're using Mamoswine, even though you both have ways to hit each other for super effective. Grassy Glide just does so much. I want to go Whimsicott Regieleki, Duraludon. Urshifu doesn't look that good here, though, right? My opponent has so many resists, so it's probably got to be Mamoswine. The Tailwind Mirror match is interesting with this one. And I feel like I don't have enough experience with the team yet to maneuver it, like, super, super well. But I think Whimsicott Regieleki is a start because I can Tailwind an Electro Ball. Or, sorry, Electro Web. Man, that was just so much power from Regieleki in that last game. Okay, it's Whimsicott Terrakion. That's fine with me, I think. Because in this position, you can only go beat up... I mean, I think it's always Tailwind here from my end. I think Tailwind plus Electro Web is really good here. Because it just ensures that I outspeed Terrakion in this Tailwind Mirror. Okay, given that they didn't Dynamax, I think they're going straight for Beat Up here. Beat Up Rock Slide would make sense. Oh, no, okay. Or just, I guess, regular Rock Slide, too. Good decision to not Dynamax Terrakion, actually. Oh, we missed? Okay. Well, we hit the more important one, which is Terrakion. That should still do, like, 40-50%-ish. Yeah. Nice. So, Moonblast should KO it now. Oh, they opted for Close Combat. Okay. Well, it's a real shame missing the Whimsicott there, because if I hit that, then I guarantee I'll speed it with what I've got in the back. But I feel like it's probably still okay to just bring out Mamoswine right now. And their Life Orb as well. No, not crazy surprise there. I like going into Mamoswine, I think, because Duraludon just doesn't want to take a Moonblast, and I don't want to Dynamax this turn, right? Yeah. So, like, I'm content just going for Moonblast here onto the Terrakion. I think that's likely to protect, but I don't think there's much reason to care, and then just Ice Shard into the Whimsicott. Yeah, had I hit Electro Web, I would think Whimsicott's in Ice Shard KO range, and then, like, Terrakion's already slower, too, so we'd be in really, really good shape. But that's the slight downside of using Electro Web. You can miss. Unless Whimsicott's not sashed here and Ice Shard one-shots it, but I don't think it one-shots. I think we needed that chip damage from the Electro Web anyway. They're not protecting Terrakion. Interesting. Yeah, so close. Okay, they just go Dazzling Gleam. That's fine. Is it fine? Depends on what comes in. I mean, I do lose my Sash there. Okay, KO Terrakion, but now my opponent gets to bring in something really strong. It was a good decision on their end to not Dynamax Terrakion turn 1 either. I could have just Thunderbolted Terrakion, but I wanted to respect the option of it Dynamaxing, and I don't really regret the Electro Web play. They bring in Moltres. Moltres. Got Duraludon in the back. You should have Fake Tears here, right? Does Fake Tears even KO? Because I could just Dynamax Mamoswine right now. Or... who's my opponent going to have in the back? Rillaboom is what I'm worried about. Because, like, I can just Dynamax Mamoswine and max Hailstorm into Moltres. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards here. Yeah, I think I'm just going to Moonblast Max and Hailstorm. The alternative was to have gone for Fake Tears onto Moltres. I mean, if they don't have Fake Tears here, then they don't even KO. And you should have Beat Up on that slot, too. So we've seen Dazzling, we've seen Tailwind, we've seen Beat Up. Question is, what is your fourth attack? Helping Hand, Taunt, Fake Tears are all possibilities. If you're not Fake Tears, I'm pretty sure I survive a Helping Hand Max Darkness. And you can't be Life Orb Moltres either. I guess the question is, I don't know if I one-shot the Moltres with Max Hailstorm, but with Never Melt Ice, that extra damage output, I actually think we might. Helping Hand may have been better than, though, to like guarantee a KO. So that might have been smarter. They do have Fake Tears. Okay, now the question is whether or not you pick up the KO. Yeah, I'll KO Whimsicott, but at what cost is the question. This is why I really needed Whimsicott gone. Like, if Electro Web hit turn 1, I think we'd be in such good shape. But let's see if they can one-shot us here with Max Airstream. That's enough for a KO. Disappointing. Like, the other play there is just to protect Mamoswine, Fake Tears into the Moltres, but I don't think I would have played this much differently, to be honest. I think I brought the right Pokemon. They have Feeny as the last one. Yeah. Do we have any outs here? We have Thunder. They should Max Darkness Duraludon, but I can Fake Tears Thunder into the Moltres. I wonder whether or not that was a guaranteed KO too, because I thought there was a chance we could survive that. I want to do the calc after this game. I think we're at like 60-70% or so. Oh, I can't even Fake Tears Moltres, right? Then that wasn't even a possible play. That's a shame. Because, like, Regieleki destroyed my opponent's team, if you look at it. Like, they had no Regieleki counters. Yeah. And if you don't get to get the chip damage on... Sorry, if you don't get to... Yeah, 1, get chip damage on a Mamoswine, or 2, get the Fake Tears onto a Dynamax Mammal does so well into this matchup, but... That's just how things roll sometimes. Yeah, I guess I'll just Helping Hand Thunder here. But my opponent... Actually, you can just Airstream Moonblast. That's a really safe play. Airstream Whimsicott to give Feeny the speed boost. I guess I could have Thunderbolted turn 1, but I think I have to respect the option of Dynamax on Terrakion there. So while we're here, I want to do the damage calc. Let's see. So, Moltres, Galarian, assume you're timid, but maybe you're modest. They went for Airstream as well. It might be coming from Hurricane, which would make it slightly stronger as well. Against Dynamax Mamoswine, -2 Spadef. Yeah, if you're just max special attack, it's 81 to 96%. So, yeah, we weren't surviving that. Yeah, we KO'd the Feeny, but it doesn't really mean much because the Moltres is faster. No, couldn't have Ice Sharded. Okay, actually I can think of a play that I could have done since I was reading into Fake Tears. The play would have been to switch out the Mamoswine into Duraludon, sacrifice Duraludon, and then just Moonblast into the opposing Whimsicott. Because if I do that, then you can't Fake Tears Mamoswine anymore. I bring Mamoswine back out, and then it's Whimsicott Mamoswine against Moltres Feeny. Still not a really great endgame, though, because my opponent can just go Max Darkness Muddy Water. So, yeah, I feel like this was pretty contingent off knocking out the Whimsicott, and missing the Electro Web really cost us, but that's okay. You know, that's the downside of using any move that's not 100% accurate. You are going to miss them sometimes, especially when it's a a spread attack as well. What about Pokemon choice? Could I have brought anything better? Moltres definitely wouldn't have done anything for us in this game, so that wasn't the answer. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'm content with the Pokemon. I was happy with the lead, to be honest. Oh, that's the end of the season. What? I guess it's the end of the month. I didn't even realize that. Okay. Well, I guess we can play one more casual battle. I didn't realize the season was ending tonight. I totally should have. What else could I have done? Would Urshifu have helped? No, Urshifu definitely would not have helped there. Because, like, we're up against a Moltres and a Terrakion. So I think we brought the right Pokemon. I'm just trying to see if there's any way to give me better odds. But I really do think if we hit that Electro Web onto Whimsicott turn 1, we're in such a commanding position. Because, like, my opponent doesn't have a free switch into Moonblast at all. Like, you'd have to switch in Moltres or Feeny if you're trying to conserve the Terrakion. Otherwise, you just sack it. And my opponent didn't have Protect on the Whimsicott either, so I guess they'd probably switch out Whimsicott. But I also don't think you anticipate the Never Melt Ice, so you might not even think I can KO with Ice Shard. So, yeah. What's Electro Web's accuracy again? Like 90, 95? I think it's 95, right? Let's see. Yeah, it is 95. That feels so bad. And this is like VGC 2017 Trick Room. Like, that's literally a VGC 17 team. Someone asked, like, how do you deny, like, super, super hard Trick Room? So this is a good test case. It's definitely Whimsicott Duraludon lead. If Trick Room goes up, we lose. That's basically, like, the how this shakes up. But I think it's Whimsicott Duraludon, Urshifu, and probably Moltres. Yeah. Didn't this, like, team basically get first or second at Worlds and Juniors in 2017? That was the one Worlds I didn't cast, so I don't remember off the top of my head in the last couple of years. But I feel like I remember a hard Trick Room team making it to the finals. Let's see. It's somewhat similar. That team had, it was just a Oranguru, Torkoal, and Lucario that was the same, actually. No Dhelmise. Okay, obviously Copperajah, and then Hatterene. Yeah, actually, why do I feel like I've seen this team before, though? Like, those exact Pokemon. Maybe I played it online or something. Okay. Either way, this is always just a helping hand, Max Darkness, or Steel Spike into whatever the Trick Room user like comes out is. So, apologies, I didn't realize the ranked season was ending tonight at the time that it did. And I should have. It's always like, like 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern, the day before the next month. So, yeah. Man, I was sad, though, because, like, Choice Specs Regieleki was putting on a clinic. Like, even just getting one Specs Electro Web is so worth it in that last game. Sacrificing Regieleki for that is so, so worth. The classic double Trick Room. Oh, gosh. I think in this position, I don't think you click Trick Room with both, and I think it's more likely you Trick Room with the, Oranguru, so I'm just going to help you get Max Darkness it. But I actually think double Trick Room is probably the best way to lead against this team, because if you don't go double Trick Room, you kind of just lose. Like, you have to get Trick Room up against this team. And with 2 Trick Room users, you at least have to play the mind game. Or I have to play the mind game, like, who is Trick Rooming, who isn't. Or you actually Trick Room with both Pokemon. If I were in my opponent's shoes, I would actually Trick Room with both Pokemon. I think that would be the best play. So let's see. The reason I'm going Helping Hand Max Darkness here is because I think it's more likely for Oranguru to try to Trick Room rather than Hatterene, but it's totally possible both Pokemon click Trick Room this turn. And no Max from the hat, so that's already kind of scary to see. No Protect either, no switches, nothing. So it may very well have been a double Trick Room. We KO Oranguru, but let's see if Hatterene Trick Roomed here. If it's not protecting or switching out, honestly, I think it's got to be a Trick Room turn 1, but let's find out. Did you Trick Room? No, they didn't. Okay, nice. So that paid off. The reason why I targeted Oranguru there is because I think Hatterene is obviously got to respect Duraludon a lot more. And, like, you know, Duraludon obviously has a super effective attack into the Hatterene, whereas against Oranguru, I don't think my opponent can really see the strength of that damage coming out. So here, actually, instead of Helping Hand, we can actually just Moonblast and Max Steel Spike. Reason being, because we're Modest Life Orb, even if you're Babiri Hatterene, like, I want to cover for Focus Sash Hatterene here, basically. Because at this point, this game should be won as long as I deny Trick Room from going up. And I think if Trick Room doesn't go up, like, we just outspeed every turn, and we should be able to overwhelm with offense. So in this position, I just want to cover for both Hattering's possibilities, which is Focus Sash, as well as Babiri Berry. So if you're a Babiri Berry, well, you maybe survive the Steel Spike, but Moonblast does the extra 10 to 20% that I need for a KO. And similarly, if you're Focus Sash, I also guarantee the knockout here. So, yeah. This is an example, like, while things look really good here, had I gone for Helping Hand Steel Spike and they are indeed Focus Sash and get Trick Room up, we're actually still in, like, that just instantly turns us into a really bad position. Okay, so we get a KO onto Hattering here. So yeah, I think someone made a good comment on yesterday's video asking, like, you know, if you're going up against hard Trick Room, what do? How do you win? And the answer is you have to deny the Trick Room. If Trick Room gets up, you're probably going to lose. That's just the reality because this team is so fast, so hyper-offensive, and so few Pokemon have Protect. You kind of have to deny the Trick Room. Whimsicott plus Duraludon is super, super good in denying Trick Room, but as you know, my opponent did in this game, which I thought was very smart, they led with 2 Trick Room users, and if they actually click Trick Room with both Pokemon, which is a really tough play to make, but if you actually make that play there, I am in really bad shape, I think. So Moltres in the back really helps out here because I've got the Overheat into the, yeah, I can just Overheat into Caparaja here. So I think it's just the free Fake Tears into Fake Tears and, well, actually Wormwind should one-shot the Torkoal, right? Yeah, so why do we need to Fake Tears this thing? We can actually Fake Tears the Caparaja because it's going to go for another Max Quake, which is going to, of course, give it a special defense boost. So you always just want to ask yourself, like, do I need the extra damage output? Like, question every single move that you make. Maybe Max Wormwind doesn't one-shot Torkoal, but this is modest, like, base 140 Max Wormwind, and Torkoal's special defense is kind of lacking, so I'd be really shocked if it survived this. Yeah, nice. So at first I just wanted to guarantee the knockout onto Torkoal, but I was like, why, in what world is it surviving a Max Wormwind? I guess if you're Assault Vest. But at this point with Moltres in the back, like, we should win. This is a classic example of just, like, very fast team against very slow team, and whoever goes first basically will win the match. So, yeah, kind of surprised to not see the Lucario lead, but my opponent probably expected me to lead Duraludon, so they didn't want to, you know, bring out Lucario and, you know, have me invalidate it, which makes a lot of sense. So, our Dynamax ends here. We've got Moltres still waiting in the back, 4v1 at this point. I'm just going to go for another Fake Tears and go for a Steel Beam. That gives us a free switch in, and it potentially negates a Max Quake into that slot. Although I guess you would just Max Quake the Whimsicott anyway, but I don't really need a Whimsicott at this point in the game. See how much Steel Beam does. Not bad. I was using Steel Beam Duraludon in, like, week 1. Literally, like, if you guys remember, my first team with Duraludon, I believe, had Steel Beam, because it was just so powerful. Duraludon's probably my favorite Pokemon from this generation, so, yeah. Okay, Dynamax ends, but now we just have 2 Pokemon that can one-shot the Caparaja, so, yeah, that'll be game. And the thing is, I think, like, going back to the point of, like, hard Trick Room, if your opponent has a way to, like, guarantee Trick Room, and it's really hard. Like, the only way you can really guarantee Trick Room is, like, the Copycat gimmick, which is, like, using Copycat from a Prankster Mon, like Riolu or Liepard, into Max Guard from Hatterene, and then it Copycats the Max Guard, which turns it into Trick Room. Like, that's really the only way you can actually really get Trick Room up, guaranteed. Against most other setups, like Whimsicott Duraludon, like, I think is honestly kind of slept on right now because, and it's just so nice because there's honestly so much Trick Room on the ladder. Trick Room and Sun are both everywhere, and as I mentioned yesterday, this team does a really good job countering both of those with Whimsicott Duraludon against at least, like, the higher ladder Trick Room stuff, as well as Moltres. Moltres just matches up really well into Sun teams, so, yeah. Alright, we have time for a 4th match, so let's look for one. I just wish it was ranked, but yeah, hopefully we can at least get a competitive battle in. Yeah, this was a really fun season, though. I mean, Series 7 started at the beginning of the month. It's obviously only been a month, but I feel like we were able to try out a lot of fun teams, and Series 7 is also going to be around for 2 more months as opposed to just 1 more month, so we're only a third of the way through. I feel like the metagame is still developing a lot, and, you know, for example, like Metagross everyone was using in the earlier weeks, it's still common, but I think it's fallen off a lot because people have found really good counters to Metagross, whether it be Rotom Heat, Cortana. I mean, Cortana doesn't hard counter Metagross, but it matches up decently well into it. Like Celesteela, for example, Galarian Moltres, there are just a lot of anti-Metagross Pokemon in the format now, so you still need to build to prepare against Metagross, but there are a lot of Pokemon that can kind of just hard wall it. Alright, wow, this is a team. Malamar, Whimsicott, Togekiss, Gastrodon, Klinklang, and Cinderace. Okay. Well, I really liked using Specs Regieleki today, so I think I'm just going to give it some more glory here. I'm just going to go Whimsicott Regieleki. Oh, Cinderace is actually a really big problem, and by the way, guys, in the last couple of episodes, I kept blundering because I kept mentioning about, like, 2 episodes ago, for example, I was worried about Heatran switching into the Gigantamax Cinderace I was using, but I didn't need to be worried about that because, yeah, I keep forgetting about Cinderace's move, G-Max move, just ignoring abilities, so don't make the same mistake I do. Yeah, Urshifu's okay. I just don't know who to Dynamax here, really, is the problem. I mean, Max Duraludon's really good. Max Mamoswine looks kind of fun here. I feel like all of our Pokemon could work, but this is one which I don't know really what the best one is. I think I'm just gonna bring Mamoswine Moltres. It's our last day of the season, or last day playing with the team as well, so I just want to feature these Pokemon more. And, you know, one thing I always say in videos is it's helpful to... Now, you should always obviously try to bring the best 4 Pokemon, but when I practice VGC, I sometimes find it helpful to go with Pokemon I may be a little bit more uncomfortable with and see if those Pokemon can actually work or if they just, like, don't offer anything in the matchup. Cinderace and Klinklang. Okay. Honestly, I kind of want to just Fake Tears Thunderbolt Cinderace, because I feel like you probably just Dynamax that thing. Yeah. Alright, let's try that out. Fake Tears, T-Bolt. If Cinderace Dynamaxes in front of us, is that going to Gastrodon? I think it's going to Gastrodon. I got baited. I got hard baited. That's still okay. I mean, Klinklang might be setting up Trick Room, though. I should have just hard denied the Trick Room, I guess. Oh, no, they go Gear Grind. Okay, that's still okay, honestly, then. Is it okay? Yeah, it's okay. You give me a free switch in here. Oh, I guess I only have physical attackers in... Oh, no, I have Moltres. Never mind, we're fine. We can just go Moltres, Max Airstream, Gastrodon, Thunderbolt the Klinklang. Max Airstream and T-Bolt. Yeah. Anyway, guys, once again, I apologize. I should have made note that the rank ladder was shutting down. But I want to just have some more content with this team and more battles. So, yeah. But, you know, we got 2 fun battles, and I thought both of those were really competitive games. And, I mean, the first one was crazy. Like, I think this episode is worth it alone just for that first game. That was just really nuts on both ends, I feel like. Because I was playing from a really big deficit, but then I was able to leverage, like, my Dynamax advantage. And I would say at the end of the day, that's the biggest strength of B150. What's B150? Togekiss, okay. I wonder if Max Overheat would have KO'd. Sorry, Max Flare, not Overheat. Also, maybe I should have doubled up onto Klinklang if it indeed is... Like, if it's Focus Sash or somehow can survive a Specs T-Bolt. I don't expect it to survive Specs T-Bolt. Like, it's so strong with Regieleki's ability as well, but I don't know. Okay, we get the Thunderbolt off. That was a nice bait turn 1, though. Yeah, it just one-shots. Nice. Yeah, this puts us in really good shape, I think. Although, you probably Dynamax Gastrodon, and Max Gastrodon's still pretty scary against this team. Wow, that's really bulky. Oh my goodness. I honestly thought it would at least do 50% there, but maybe you're just at max HP and max Pdef? Now what could be really cool is if you bring in Gastrodon, Dynamax it, and then protect Togekiss. Otherwise, I always have a free Thunderbolt into the Togekiss slot. The other interesting play for my opponent is to bring in Cinderace, and then you bait me into Thunderbolting one of the slots. Because by bringing up Gastrodon, now I have a guaranteed Thunderbolt into Togekiss. I have Max Quake, but I think I'm just going to Airstream Gastrodon. I kind of need damage. Because, like, I think Gastrodon probably maxes, so I'm hoping 2 Airstreams into a Choice Band Wicked Blow is enough to pick up the KO. Klinkling's fun. We used Toxtricity Klinklang a couple months ago. That was a fun duo with its ability. Yeah, I was just really hoping to just, like, dunk on, oh, they don't max here. That's interesting, and I think that may cost them here. Actually, maybe not. I don't know. The reason why I think it may cost them is because if you don't have max guard on the Cinderace, I can just Airstream, Wicked Blow, KO it this next turn. Wow, that Airstream did so much. It's really fun to use regular Moltres, and, like, it's not even, like, a gimmick. Like, it's just super good into a lot of the metagame right now. I think that's awesome. Red Power comes out. I wonder if we could have survived if we Max Quake. Like, probably, but I don't think it's worth it there, because I have to respect the option of Gastrodon Dynamaxing. If Gastrodon does not max, and it's lefties, okay. Yeah, if Gastrodon does not max, then, like, sorry, if Gastrodon maxes and I max Quake into it, I do so little damage, whereas I'd rather just get 2 Airstreams into, oh wait, I have Mamoswine as the last one. Oops. That's okay. Yeah, wait. Well, you can't one-shot Mamoswine. I think I can just go Max Airstream into... I wish I had an Earthquake here, because that would be a guaranteed win. My opponent could actually Dynamax Gastrodon right now, which would be kind of a sick play. I guess the safer play for me... Hold on. Oh, they don't even max. Okay. Well, that should be the game then. I was going to say, I think the safer play is actually probably to Airstream Gastrodon, because I always get a high horsepower off into the Cinderace slot, and even if you max there, I have Scorching Sands as well. Yeah. So, that was actually kind of a bad play on my end, I think. I don't know why they didn't max here, but maybe they just thought the game was over. We are playing on the casual ladder as well, so yeah. At the end of the day, though, I think, like, no matter what your ranking is, who you're playing against, what Pokemon you're going up against, you always want to just show, like, the utmost respect to the team and just, like, because, like, in Pokemon, it's so easy to, like, look at a team, think, like, it's not, like, super serious, disrespect it, and then, like, get your butt kicked by it because, like, you just lose to some strategies that you don't see coming. So, yeah. And, like, you know, like, unexpected Pokemon for me are actually always, like, the hardest Pokemon to go up against because, like, those are the ones in which I just, like, am not 100% sure of what they're going to do. And at the end of the day, competitive Pokemon is a game in which, like, you try to, like, use, like, educated knowledge. I mean, I don't want to call it, like, an educated guessing game, but in some ways, I mean, you are predicting based off, like, the knowledge that you've built while playing the game, right? So if you're going up against Pokemon that you've seen before, there's a higher probability of them doing something you expect, whereas if you're going up against Pokemon like Klinkling, for example, that are a little bit more niche, then one, you may forget about key moves, two, you know, they might just be running some really crazy strategy that you might not expect, and, you know, at the end of the day, like, no matter what Pokemon you're going up against, you always just want to consider what the best play is, and, you know, bring the best Pokemon and play your best. And in that last game, I think, actually, while we're here, I do want to calc the Mamoswine into Dynamax Cinderace, like how much a high horsepower does into Dynamaxed. Because I'm thinking the correct play was actually... Yeah, this high horsepower does so much damage. It does 66 to 79%. The only downside is if we miss, but I think if we Airstream in a Gastrodon, that's a guaranteed knockout unless you Gigantamax it and protect it, or Dynamax it and protect it, which is really unlikely. So we pick up the KO onto the Gastrodon, high horsepower connects on the Cinderace, then Cinderace is at 34% at best, and we have a speed boost as well. You can't KO Moltres there. At best, you could knock out the Mamoswine, and I have Scorching Sands. I guess the only fear then is if the Cinderace manages to change its type. No, but if you change your type, you can't knock out either Pokemon. So, yeah, I think we were good regardless there. So it would have been better to Airstream and high horsepower. Yeah. Always good to analyze, like, what the better plays are, even if, like, you win the game. No matter what the margin is, like, you should always just question, did I make the best play possible? And I didn't do that in the end game there. So, yeah. Either way, that's it for this episode. Apologies that the ranked ladder ended while I was recording this, but we'll be back with the brand new season tomorrow. So, thanks as always for watching Road to Ranked. If you enjoyed, please show support by leaving a like in the video. And, yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow with a brand new season. All right, peace.